You know what, man? Fun week on Impact. Good matches. We also have a big update that just occurred, like yesterday. Our director of authority, Santino Marella.
Literally after we were discussing, let's discuss this. Should he get added to the?
Yeah. And then they just
I thought that was hilarious. And then an hour later, they were like, "Yep, it's happening."
Now, the question I have is, Matt, how much did you know, and why did you lead us on?
I know everything. Just keep that in mind at all times.
Mhm.
I even know things in AEW and WWE. Tell you, I have connections everywhere.
I'm just leaving. The graphic came up. My bad.
This is my thread that I'm pulling you on, and you have no choice but to follow it. That's all.
Oh wow! It's just...
Yeah, I mean, Matt was unusually quiet last week when I called for it becoming a triple threat.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I noticed that too. Go back and watch the episode.
Yeah, she's just like, huh? That's an interesting.
I wouldn't hate that. I would not hate that. But yeah, look, it gets added as a triple threat. This is happening. We're gonna get Mike Santana, Joe Hendry versus Trick Williams for, of course, the beautiful TNA World Championship. I'm excited because I like all three of these wrestlers. They're all incredible. They're all dynamite in the ring, no pun intended. They're all really good. So there's no reason for anyone to be, not that anyone would be disappointed. That being said, there are a couple of things here that I am genuinely that I'm curious about, right? Joe Hendry is kind of in this interesting spot here where, he's trying to get his belt back, but here comes the upstart Mike Santana, very reminiscent of Joe Hendry's rise. Obviously not to the same degree because, man had a song that went viral on the Apple Store and got super famous overnight. But you're seeing this guy, born and bred TNA, rising through the ranks, just like the way he did, getting put in the matches, just like the way he did. And I think that there's an opportunity here. There's an opportunity here to either tell a story of a Joe Hendry who's frustrated with losing, who maybe stops believing in himself. How dare he? There's also a Mike Santana who, get that, Matt. Okay, you're enough of you right now. All right, we just gotta enough of you. Okay, look, how dare you egg me along? You of course have Mike Santana, who is Mr. TNA, and has proudly worn that banner, and even in a more IRL capacity, even though, as we always say, that's not a thing that we're focusing on, there's always those rumors about Joe Hendry going to WWE or leaving TNA, whereas Mike Santana is in. My guy is in for the long haul. You can see it. So, Jake, because let's be honest, again, I just asked you, because look at this freaking smug dude. Look at him just with his smug ass.
What else, guys?
Where would you like to see, Jake, this manifest itself with Joe Hendry and Mike Santana? Because it feels like we could get a really interesting collision course here.
Yeah, I mean, look, when it's told well and done right, I love seeing face versus face matchups.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting. The dynamic between these two is fascinating and could be very fascinating because they are both so similar and so alike. They're both very much self-made men, right? But they both took completely different paths to do it.
Yep.
They're both inspirational in their own capacities.
Yep.
And I think this would be, this is just one of those, I think it could be one of those rare situations where you have this rivalry of respect that could come out of it. Where it's man, I want to wrestle you to the end of time, not because I hate you, not because I want what you have, but because I respect the hell out of you. And if I want to be the best, I got to fight the best.
Yeah.
And I just those are the kind of rivalries I feel like You don't see them often. When they're done well, they're so much fun, and I would love to see them become these rivalry. I'd love to see them become this rivalry of respect.
Yeah.
That's what I would love to see come out of this Joe versus Santana thing. Because look, at the end of the day, I don't think Trick is walking out of Slammiversary with the title. The odds are
100%.
against him now.
100%.
The odds are completely against him now. He doesn't have to be pinned to lose it.
Yep. I do want to say,
think
though,
that he will.
He needs to be pinned. I cannot
I
stress that
agree.
enough.
Agreed. I think that he needs to be pinned as well.
Yeah. If he does not get pinned, I'm mad. I'm just going to be very real with everyone.
Yeah. But man, like this is a banger of a matchup. These are three, like, Trick is super over. People love Trick, even though he's, heel right now. Hendry is Hendry. Santana has scratched, clawed, and climbed his way to the top and deserves to be in this title picture too. I'm thrilled that, oh my God, can you look at that picture right there? Him coming through the crowd in New York City with that flag up, man. How can he not come? How can you not want him?
We always have one on standby. We always have a flag on standby. Okay. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
I also have one, but mine is upside down for a reason. Signal distress. Anyway, this match is going to be so great.
Yeah.
I mean, it is such a marquee matchup because you got three people who are just scratching the surface of what they can do between Trick and Joe and Mike Santana.
Yep. And look, I've been go for it, Matt.
It's going to be a banger match. Hey, look at
the bumps, yeah. The final boss of Goosebumps.
The final bumps.
No. But
got the final bumps.
What I like about these three, and in this story, is, Jake, you have a really good point. They all want that. All right.
What I do.
But they all want that spot, but like for very different reasons, right? They're all so motivated to keep it or get that spot, but for very different reasons. So we have three very different characters fighting for the same thing.
Yeah.
Trick wants to retain control, right? He's a bad guy who's like, look, I came into this other territory. I kicked down the door, and by any means necessary, I'm holding on. I'm running this, but it's an ego trip. Like, look at this. I don't even work here, and I run the show.
Yep.
And he's got people like First Class helping him. For Joe, it's redemption. I didn't like him using the redemption line because he basically co-opted the Osprey promo. Ascension and redemption.
Yeah.
I think we should get away from that. But if it's him, it's like, look, I was riding the highest I ever was, and I fumbled, and I let someone like Trick beat me. I need to reclaim that. And then for Santana, there's such a great personal story there. We've told it numerous times since he's returned. His battle with sobriety and getting into the best shape of his life, doing this for his daughter, getting back to the company that first gave him a shot. But now I'm not just an extra talent. I'm not just a tag team guy trying to get a spot on the show. I'm here to put in the work and run the damn thing, live up to that legacy I set out for myself as a kid. But it's really one of those stories. So he wants to finally win the big one.
And I just want to say as well, and I know I'm using this picture again of him holding the Puerto Rican flag for audio listeners. Like, you have to also understand, there's a cultural thing on this as well that's quite powerful. I actually watched House of Glory do the Mike Santana Puerto Rican weekend, and not just a sense of pride that I felt as a Boricua, watching this show, but the reaction that this man is getting, it's not coming from a viral music song. It's not coming from no, it's coming from This dude walks through the crowd every day. He's with the people. He's always cheering with them. He's always like that's a powerful thing. I think that like does matter. You know, it draws your attention. It makes you, and if anything, it feels like for Mike, it's about restoring the glory to TNA. Whereas I feel like for Joe, it's about restoring the glory for Joe. And then for Trick, it's about being able to just say that I can do it. And I want to side with the guy who's doing it for the people over the guy who's doing it for himself and the guy who's doing it just because he thinks he can. And I think that's really cool. I think that's a great story. You're so right.
But it's also like, but the thing too that's great about Joe is, even though he's doing it for himself, in a way he's earned that.
Yeah,
you know, the first one,
very true.
The first one was to prove to other people, hey, I can be at the top. I can hold this title and I can run with it. But now that he's lost it, and not only lost it, but lost it to a man outside of the company.
Yep.
Joe has to prove to himself, I deserve to have this title.
Yeah.
So like, there's so many great stories folded in here that like,
this is the most hype I have been for the TNA title picture in a minute.
Yeah.
And I've liked a lot of the stuff of the TNA title picture. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
Nick Nemeth's run, I quite enjoyed, right? Joe Hendry's run, even though there were some ups and downs, I did enjoy some of the moments where they were playing around with like the Elijah and him and all that stuff, right? But this is like, I'm buying that pay-per-view.
It feels big.
I'm consuming. Okay, I am consuming, and it's not just, and obviously, look, I know, like, I have a little bit of bias because, you know, Boricua, but the reality.
Did you say? did you see he has a new shirt out that says "Big Boricua Energy"?
Oh yeah,
Big Boricua Energy.
Yeah, I am buying that.
I saw that the other day, and I was like, "GB's 100%."
I am buying it. It's that one and the Ricochet bald guy shirt. Those two,
no bald shaming.
Yeah,
or
no, stop bald shaming. Like those two are definitely. And do I need more wrestling T-shirts? No. Do I want more wrestling T-shirts? Yes.